in Podcast Detroit, recording live. Prepare yourself for a hoppy drive. If you're chilling at home, pop that crowler and just kick back for the next 2 hours. It's the end of the week, so here's to the weekend. It's Better on Draft with Rob,
right here.
Matt, Nick, and Ken.
And we are live, episode 150. I'm a little hot right there. Better on Draft podcast. That's right, 150 episodes down. I don't know how many more to go, but we are here live in studio. I could start lifting mics up a little bit. Matt?
3 more to go.
3 more to go. That's it?
That's it.
That's it. That's not true. We're going to continue after 150, 153 for sure. But we do have in studio from Cheboygan Brewing. Nick, how you doing?
Hey, doing good. Thanks for having me tonight.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for bringing beer.
Absolutely.
Let's crack. Well, Matt's already cracking open a beer. So why don't let's before we get into introductions, why don't you tell us what that beer is, and then we can start talking about.
Nick, you want to pass me cups? One of the two Nicks.
Oh. This might get confusing tonight
Nick
with the two Nicks.
If you want to pass that to him too, that would be great.
Well, we got what? Engaged Nick and married Nick.
Yeah.
And I'm just single Ken.
And you're just single Ken. And Matt's just
Matt.
So
what beer is he pouring over here?
This is our porter here. This is a draft-only release that we do. We used to do a black cherry vanilla porter, but we really like the base of this one. You're going to get some really nice roasted character from it. You get some like chocolate, coffee from it, but a really clean finish. You know,
Can you give Ken a sippy cup back, please?
Yes. Thank you very much. I'm down 32 pounds, by the way,
since
middle of August. So
congrats, man.
We are gonna keep going. I'm hoping by the time the Winter Beer Fest comes, I am going to be
February.
Yes, February. I'm gonna be down a total of 75. That's the goal.
Wow.
I'll buy you a nicely tailored suit.
I will take you up on that.
That way, it's kind of a congratulatory gift and also reminder of looking sharp in what you got. I give you one right here.
Oh,
Nick
now,
too.
Now he's got 2.
Double fisting already.
I got 3 things going here, so I think we're okay.
All right. I'm making sure that our live feed's going on right now. There we go. It's good. We're good.
Yeah,
I was worried for a second.
Mess it up.
Well, it said Better on Draft was live. And I'm like, no, we're still live. We're still live. We're live every single Friday night, 7 p.m. on Facebook.com/Better on Draft. You can actually join us in the chat live, talk to us, talk to our guests, see what's going on. So this is the base porter. Matt, what do you think of it?
Yes, hard.
You don't even like dark beer either.
Porters are not that.
The thing, again, my issue with dark beers is their viscosity. If they're thick and milky, not a fan. But if they're light and crisp like this one.
Like this Dragon's Milk banana coconut?
Probably going to hard pass on that one. But this one leaves the palate as quickly as it enters the palate. So, no problems on this side.
I can see what you mean on this one. Definitely very, very crushable, I would say.
So there are variants of this beer. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah. Well, it started out as kind of the black cherry vanilla porter, and we kind of just we did away with that with our chocolate cherry stout, with the flavored dark beers, and we just wanted a really nice solid base beer to come out with, especially fall time, starting to get cold now. So we kind of like to do that with our beers. Something that you're going to get the flavor, but it's something that you're going to want to come back, with for more.
That was me.
What was that?
Sorry.
I'm going to be that guy. You know what would be really good in here? Maybe like a peppermint or something like that.
A peppermint porter?
Yeah, like a winter warmer.
That would be awesome. Yeah, what would be cool is if we do like a Randall with that or something, maybe in the tap room.
Maybe some pecan, some sugar plums, some
cinnamon.
Yeah, some cinnamon, some Christmas flavors.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
We're not even past Halloween yet. Let's not think about Christmas, though.
Yeah. What are you going to be for Halloween?
Oh, my God, I hate you. Nothing.
That was an actual legit question.
Was that an actual legit question?
There was no short jokes in there yet. Well,
no,
I don't trust Matt.
Yeah, well, it is Matt. But, I don't think I'm going to be dressing up this year.
Why not?
I don't know. I haven't dressed up. I didn't dress up at all last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you didn't do anything with usually you and Tara do something special in regards to
I think I just
matching costumes.
No, I think we did what we did for Halloween. We went to I can actually say this now, my sister-in-law's house, and we took my now niece trick-or-treating, and I think all I did was just walk around with a bunch of Dragon's Milk.
It's not a bad
No, it's not. Considering the fact of how freaking cold it was.
It's getting really cold all of a sudden.
Oh, I brought the cold weather from with me from Marquette.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
had
And the rain too, because it did that the entire time after the wedding.
And during the wedding, almost.
We lucked out.
Yeah, you did.
We lucked out with like the pictures. I mean, Ken, you were there. You mean obviously?
Yeah, it was raining all morning,
And then-
the wedding happened, and then it suddenly dried up. The
Dried
sun
out,
came out. I'm
yeah.
like, ooh.
Yeah, we
Did you bless the rains down in Utica?
Actually, that was actually really good. You know what? I'm
Can I get a bell ting?
that's what I was going for.
Don't encourage
just
him.
for you. Just
Don't
for you.
encourage him, Ken. What's wrong with you?
I don't know, but you should take that one away from him over
Yeah.
there.
Oh, I didn't even say
it
this.
Requires work.
You know?
requires work.
So Ken, what are you drinking this week?
My Diet Vernors and my whiskey.
Your DCD?
My
Or decanter style?
decanter style, because they have all flavored whiskeys and then whatever's in the decanter. So I assume it's something just garbage that they put in the decanter, maybe like Seagram 7 or.
Hey, don't go dissing Seagrams. As Petey Pablo once said, I drink it because they pay me for it.
I got some Seagram 7 at home still. You want some?
I think I do too, but I got a lot of other stuff at home. I actually just finished my first bottle of liquor since I started drinking liquor again.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was a fifth of Russian Standard that I had.
Standard.
Dude, that's been sitting in my apartments since I lived at my parents.
Wow, that long, huh?
I don't drink liquor, so it's just been sitting there like,
Wow.
whatever.
That's crazy.
Have you not finished the fifth of the DCD? The
No, I
vodka?
haven't yet. I haven't yet. No, I got
Saves
because
that for special
I got the
occasions.
vodka from DCD and then I got the whiskey from Journeyman.
Detroit City Distilling.
Correct.
Right on. Nick, what's in your mouth right now?
Besides the Doritos.
Sure. I mean, we are. This could be better on Doritos, but typically we talk more on
So
the
I
beer.
got the triple fist going on. We got the porter from Cheboygan. I haven't even touched this one yet. The Upper Hand Brewing UPA, the Upper Peninsula Ale. And then I was going to bring this in for a special occasion last week, but since we had a bunch of other beer here and couldn't really get to it, this Beguile Brewing barrel-aged Imperial Pajamas from last year. And I think, as Ken was saying, they're closed.
Yeah, I'll have to double check real quick, but I remember there was an issue in regards to the fact that they were closing and they were looking for a buyout, but I don't think anybody went and purchased them because they're out in Chicago's South Loop, which is away from like Malt Row and a few of the other major Chicago areas for breweries. So
Spot on, though, on the Imperial Pajamas, if you haven't had any yet.
It was delicious. I had a
it
little
was
bit
very
beforehand. Yeah, really nice and chocolatey.
Oh, yeah.
So Sheboygan, Nick, tell us how Sheboygan Brewing started and kind of what the story behind that is.
Yeah, definitely. So it was formed in 2011, the Cheboygan Brewing that you know now, but actually back in the late 1800s is when it was originally formed. Cheboygan, as the town, was a big loggering town or logging town. Yeah,
There you
not
go.
just loggers beer wise, but we have a lot of inland waterways and. So they were they were logging and sending them down those and everything. And the brewery kind of took off from there. And then unfortunately in 1911, they closed it as the town kind of, went through all of its resources there. And then back in 2011, some guys got together, some investors from the town, and then some guys from down here, Mark and Jamie, to bring it back to life essentially. And, we're not nearly what they would have been back then. Obviously, our technology is a lot more advanced, and we're kind of taking that modern, twist on a lot of these craft beers. But we do some German tributes, to them. That's what they were doing, a lot of stuff. Obviously lagering stuff and everything like that. So.
When you guys picked up the name Sheboygan Brewing Company, did you have to search records to pay somebody off to not sue you?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't know if it was.
Damn it.
Well, we'll definitely find that out.
Two questions already stumped them. Got it.
I'm not sure. I don't think we've gone through anything on that, but I'll find out for you.
Now, how did you personally come to Sheboygan Brewing?
Yeah, so I grew up in Cheboygan. So not only is there a pride for the beer and everything, but also the hometown and everything. So I came in. I was going to Grand Valley on the west side of the state, and I was up there in the summers spending time. I was actually into wine first, and then I got into craft beer and asked them for a job washing kegs in the back, and that was filled. But I said, hey, I'm going in for marketing. Do you need a marketing guy? And they brought me on for, an internship then. This was back in 2015, and after that, I took a little bit of break from the industry, and then got back on last year, and been doing the sales and marketing and social media for them.
Now, do you have a favorite beer that you guys brew? Is there one that is your go-to?
I would have to say the porter is definitely high up there. We have our Imperial Cinnamon Hefeweizen. I don't know if you guys
An
have you guys tried that?
Imperial Hefeweizen.
Cinnamon.
I heard the
Cinnamon
cinnamon, but
Hefeweizen,
the Imperial Hefeweizen. Like, what's the ABV on that?
So it's been upwards of 9. Actually, a quick funny story on that. My fiance now, I brought her up for Thanksgiving holidays, and we were having some Imperial Cinnamon Hefeweizen at the.
Does it have a name?
It's Imperial Cinnamon Hefeweizen, yeah.
Hey, you should talk to your marketing guy about getting some craft funny names.
Well, the funny thing is we talked about that, and we name our nanos. You know, we've done Panda Juice. We've done some really interesting ones there. Black Dawn, our Russian Imperial Stout. But we've kind of, as far as our commercial beers that are distributed, we've just kind of named them what they are. So we've had pretty good success with that. So we kind of been running with that consistency. But anyway. Long story short, it was 9% at the time, and you don't notice it. So what had happened is we started at the brewery, and then right down the road, Mulligan's bar. It serves it too, but they serve it in pint glasses. And my fiance was not aware of the alcohol percentage, and basically her first impression that she left on my parents was her pretty intoxicated and.
Are you guys
too well.
tulips then at the brewery?
What's that?
So they're tulips at the brewery then?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, we were doing snifter glasses of it. So
that would be a little bit of a tap them on the shoulder moment, right?
I definitely felt that. It was 2 nights ago. My friends were in town from Ferris, and they're like, oh, just grab some beers in my fridge. I'm still trying to get rid of beers in my fridge.
Did they grab the Cocoa Shandy yet?
No, the Cocoa Shandy is still in my fridge. So one grabs a Rochester Hills Milkshake Stout, which is fine, and then the other one grabs a 12-ounce bottle of Fort from Dogfish Head. And he's like, oh, this tastes really boozy and really sour with the raspberries. And I'm like, oh, I don't even know what the ABV is. Look on the bottle. I can't find it.
14.2.
18.
Holy shit.
So he didn't like it, so I wind up drinking it. And then we wound up walking to Eastern Market Brewing to see Rob, who was hosting Sparkle Trivia over there.
Hey.
So
Was he eating Supinos?
He was not. His sister was in town from Arizona, so now I'm even more upset that he didn't treat her to good pizza out in Eastern Market Brewing. Or Eastern Market at the brewery.
Eastern Market proper.
There you go.
There you go.
Fair. Very, very fair. So when did you make the trip down here to live down here from Cheboygan?
Yeah, so after Grand Valley, it's been about 2 years that I've been over here. We moved over here. She's finishing up at Wayne State, like I mentioned.
Yeah, buddy.
Or maybe I didn't mention. But anyway, that's kind of what brought us over here. And it works out because I, manage the southern part of Michigan. So really anywhere within the vicinity, then obviously, Oakland and Macomb counties being some of the heavier populated areas in Michigan, it really works out with me being down here to help support the brand.
Now, do you guys have a flagship or a beer that you typically lead with, either on or off premise?
Yeah, definitely Blood Orange Honey, and I think you mentioned to me at the festival. Yeah, I think you mentioned to me at the festival that's one of your favorites.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's definitely. I mean, that's where we saw the progression from German style beers that we were kind of playing around with in the beginning, into this transition into like modern fruit ales.
As Rick James once said, "Give it to me."
And
Give it to me, baby.
I don't think we mentioned it to you at the festival, but we actually have been mixing the Blood Orange Honey and the Blueberry Cream Ale.
Yeah,
calling
the
it
Blue Bloods, right?
Yeah.
Blue
okay.
Blood? Is that what you guys are calling it?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And that was stemmed from our tap room.
Now, you guys did a whole social media campaign this summer, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. We did a photo contest of people showcasing the brands together, whether they were pouring them in together, whether they were on the boat, or there was one. The two that won, they tied. One was a fishing photo of the blueberry and blood orange side by side, and then the other one was a really cool shot of them being poured into a glass together with like sunlight coming in and just giving it a really nice.
I think it was like a like a nighttime photo, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of dusk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Sun setting, right there.
yeah. So we had a really good response from that, and it was another nice thing about our company is we're so small, so we all wear different hats. I'm not the only one helping out with social media. I'm not the only one, helping with sales and everything. We all kind of come together and work as a team, which is really nice to be a part of. But we had a lot of people come together and show us a picture. But obviously, being out in the field at these festivals, people unprovoked came up and asked for the blue blood. So it's nice to know that your message is getting out there.
Can I get some of that the blue over here?
Absolutely.
Let's see what this is all about. And your contest is over, right? So my red solo cup isn't gonna be entered as a finalist.
No, unfortunately not. But maybe next year we'll do another thing.
Do you guys have anything in the making that is gonna crack the lineup next summer?
We do. I don't want to speak too soon, but
this is the place to speak.
yeah,
Yeah.
we might potentially have a new can release coming.
Okay.
Very soon, sooner than next summer, but we're in the early stages of that.
Of something that is standard on you, or something completely brand new?
It's something that we've done in the past.
Okay.
I'll say that, and it's something that has gotten really good response. So.
Okay. Are we gonna have to take you out in the alley and really get this out of you? Or?
Yeah, we might have to.
Okay.
Maybe one more porter or so.
There we go.
Oh, wow, I finally got to the porter. Sorry, I've been trying to, share the videos, push it to wherever I need to push it, and finally got to drinking. This is really good. This is really smooth. Really. Did you brew this?
I did not.
Oh, you're just taking credit for it. Okay.
Yeah. I have brewed. I have brewed on their nano system, but with a lot of assistance from the brewmaster.
So by that, is it like how when I brewed and I just showed up and drank and didn't really do much except have them explain to me what they're doing as they do it?
No, I've been homebrewing, so there was a little bit more. I definitely was into it. But the thing is even though the nano system is set up after a homebrew setup, it's a 1-barrel system, so it's kind of the same things. There's still a lot more moving parts than what you're used to, filling from your kitchen sink.
So I did a system like that when I did the alt beer over at North Center Brewing over in Northville, Michigan. Check them out south of Baseline Road on North Center Road. Open 7 days a week, full food program, obviously full beer program. They're going to be at the beer festival this year in the in Eastern Market, as well as of course go there and take your best bet at some shuffleboard. I think they're going to be at our beer fest tomorrow, right?
Yes, they're going to be at Jimmy John's Field.
So excited.
Jimmy John's Brew and Fall Fest, co-hosted by yours truly, Better on Draft. These three ugly mugs.
Yeah.
I guess it is going to be us three.
It
Our
is.
Our writer's going to be there as well.
Oh,
So
really?
you guys get to meet him, and so it's going to be like a new reunion of the staff.
A reunion?
Sure, why not?
Oh my gosh.
what did you brew over there at Cheboygan, and did it was it just for personal or was it for actually
Public consumption?
Consumption.
We did one 6-barrel out in distribution. Unfortunately, didn't make it to this side of the state. I went over to Grand Rapids, but I did a mint green tea IPA.
Mint green tea.
I've heard of the tea IPAs. Not triple IPAs, but the tea IPAs.
Tea IPAs.
Tea-
I don't think
Teepa?
I saw
Tippa?
the bubble tea beers that were going on over at Black Eyed Peas, One Eyed Betty's. There we go. I got it almost. I got the eyed right. One Eyed Betty's. They had like a bubble tea release party. I think they did it with Urban Rest and Detroit
different.
Bubble Company.
Is this going to be like the Faygo release? Are we going to talk about that later?
Oh, we'll talk about that later. Definitely.
I did see that, by the way.
I'm not surprised. It's not like what do you call it? Kunin's done Faygo beers before, so it's not a first thing. Obviously, this is probably all the Detroit beer experiment that's going on that Steve Rogenson does down in Detroit. So I'm guessing that's what that is the Detroit beer experiment beers. Have you gotten a chance to look at the beers? What are you guys bringing for the festival, Nick? Cheboygan, Nick?
For the Eastern Market Brewing?
Yes.
Yes, or Eastern Market Brewing. I need to check that out, by the way.
I did that too. Just,
yeah. Anyway, we are going to be bringing our Back 40 Saison that we ferment over strawberries. So it's really nice. We do a Belgian and French yeast blend on that, so you get that really nice peppery kind of characteristic coming through, and then a nice tartness from the strawberries. The porter that you're having tonight will be making it's debuted there.
Swing by there for sure.
Absolutely. Yep. And then, of course, the blood orange, the blueberry, and And then I believe our chocolate cherry stout will be making an appearance as well.
Ooh.
Yep, I'm looking at it right now in regards to the list. You got the chocolate covered cherry stout. You also have the Back 40 Saison.
Yep.
Which is a enthusiast only drink, or it's going to be tapped during the enthusiast hour. So what is that? The Saison, like what is it?
Yeah, that's what I just mentioned with the Belgian French yeast
Okay.
blend there. Yeah, so what we do, this is kind of our nice. It's one of the funkier ones that we do that is on our big 15-barrel system versus a nano brew. We've done some sours on that, so you get that really nice like barnyard funk kind of characteristic, right away, like you do kind of a traditional Saison, kind of peppery, and then like I said, that the strawberries that we ferment on over it, or on top of, you get a really nice tart kind of characteristic from it to kind of bring it all together at the end. It's about 5.5%, so something you can knock back and enjoy, and really nice. Obviously we brew it in August, but kind of nice going into fall too, to kind of I guess freshen up your taste buds, or because you're used to drinking dark beers, but it's kind of nice to go back to that one.
So being down here, obviously you're in Hazel Park. We're actually going to be pouring for Cellarman's on Friday night, so definitely come check us out Friday night at the beer festival. They're going to have their typical random as all hell beers that they're going to be bringing, including Derby Pie. Have you been? Obviously, you've been to Cellarman's. I assume you have.
Yeah, yep. Unfortunately, not as much as I would like. The thing is, I am down here, obviously servicing the market here, but I do travel a lot, Grand Rapids, Lansing, and then up north to Cheboygan a lot too. So I don't get there as often as I'd like.
So they have their Derby Pie that's going to be there that I really
What's
suggest.
Derby Pie?
Their Derby Pie. So their Derby Pie, it's
That
as
sounds
Dan
something like dirty.
Dan would be upset because it's a 2-token beer.
I thought that was kind of retired. The 2-token system was retired.
Oh, no, there's a
I thought
lot of
Green,
two-token
Greenbush.
beers.
That's all Greenbush thing, right? Almost all their beers were 2 tokens.
So almost all Cellarman's are 2 tokens.
Really?
Except for their Boogeyman, which is their milk stout. But it's a barrel-aged chocolate milk stout with pecans and vanilla.
Pecan.
So that's what the Derby
Pass.
Pie is.
That sounds amazing.
Well, it's going to be at the Fall Beer Festival, so I'll have to swing by, get another one of these porters, grab your glass, go get, work that out in regards to a trade. It's a fair trade.
Yeah, I'll be there both days.
So were you going to festivals before you started working for Cheboygan? Were you were obviously home brewing before you started working for Cheboygan?
Yeah, so I actually started making wine.
So not only were you a wine drinker, you were a wine maker.
Yeah, and none of them turned out good. It was really sad. I used basically bare bones. I actually used balloons as the airlocks with pinholes in them. So I mean, this was beyond unprofessional.
I have no idea. I have no idea what he just said.
Yeah, neither do I. I've never made wine, so I guess.
So basically, like for homebrewing, you usually have like a carboy, and you put like an airlock in there with some sanitizer solution in there to let the CO2 out as the yeast ferment the sugars.
Okay.
But you can, if you don't want to spend any money on that, you can take a balloon and put it over the carboy opening, poke a hole in it, and then that'll release the CO2 without letting a lot of air back into it to oxidize the solution. So,
Okay, I guess we learned. Okay, that's for our one wine drinker friend of the day, and now you can turn us off.
I was gonna say, well, my mother listens, so maybe she'll start making her own wine at home.
Well, you could do that with beer too. You still have the same,
Same effect.
same airlock situation. But yeah, I wasn't doing a ton of festivals with them prior to, but during kind of my break from the industry, I was still doing festivals, still supporting them at bars and asking for their brand and everything. So that was nice. Like I said, that not only is there a strong community affiliation being there, but just the representation of the beer.
Now, I think there's a story behind your IPA, isn't there? Number 11?
Yeah, there is. Yeah, and you'll notice the fireman's symbols on there.
Maltese Cross, right?
Yeah, our old brewmaster, he was in Firehouse number 11, and this was kind of his tribute towards them when he brewed this beer. We now do Cascade and Centennial in there. It's more of a malt forward IPA. It's 6.2%, 55 IBUs. So it's really something you can really appreciate the hops, really appreciate the malts, and yeah, I consider it sessionable. It is a little higher than say your all days and everything like that, but it's definitely something you can sip on and enjoy.
Are you ever going to get out of the 4-packs? Are you ever going to get into the larger unit packs?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's something that we've talked about, but have you guys been to our brewery?
I have.
Okay, so you know how small we are. We do have challenges with that. We actually use Michigan Mobile Canning, which they can do. They could do, smaller vessel cans, but this is just something where you have people that know it buy this. So as of right now, it's something I think we're going to stay with. But we do a cerveza that's a really low ABV that I think would.
4K.
What's that?
Where is this pub only then?
Pub only, yeah. Right now. So,
You're
but
fired.
Gonna have to swing up there, Matt.
good news though. I can tell you this.
Is that what you're gonna put in cans next?
Well,
We got him. We got him.
I will say it's a potential one.
He
I
dropped
think
the dime
I think
on
it will do
himself.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, but he could also bring like a 6-barrel back, and then you can knock on his door and be like, "Hey, give me a
Come on, knock on my door.
give me."
Is it a
give me
blood orange
a
cerveza?
growler."
Knock on my door.
It is just actually just a plain cerveza.
What's what is it called?
La
Cerveza?
cerveza.
La
La
cerveza.
cerveza. Yeah.
You really need to talk to your marketing guy.
Well, we're open to suggestions for sure. But
Oh.
I would say, Matt, you got some creative thinking going on.
Yeah,
up there.
Awesome 3000. We'll have to have another beer and get into that.
Well, here, you want some of that Beguile? That'll get the wheels
I don't know,
turning.
do I want
I was
this
gonna
go?
say I smell the booze after I poured that the pajamas for sure. That did you get a chance to try that? I know you said you've had it before.
yeah, I tried that earlier. That was actually the first one of the night. So
right before we went on the air.
Yeah, I'm trying to make my way around, and I'm still like, it's hard to like get everything managed. I'm so scatterbrained today; it's hysterical.
We're running we're running pretty low on the
But we have
staff
Matt here, and
tonight.
that's all that matters. Matt's the most important one.
yeah.
So tell us about the brew facility. How big is it? Do you guys do food? What's the scene like up in Cheboygan?
Yeah, sure. So we're like I said, we're pretty small. That's why we go with the Michigan Mobile Canning, because they can bring their stuff in, and we can use that space to put more tanks and take the grain in and out and everything. So we're a 15-barrel brew system. We have a couple 30-barrel fermenters, a couple 15-barrel fermenters, and then I think we have 4 bright tanks, and then a 1 60-barrel fermenter, if I'm recalling correctly.
Sounds pretty big.
Yeah,
I mean, overall, when you include the brewing space and I'm guessing, seating and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely, the thing is we're statewide distribution. So,
Sure.
When you consider a 15-barrel batch, that's, 30 half-barrel kegs. So you can imagine how fast something like that could go when you're, just even, Metro Detroit, Lansing area. So, yeah, but I mean, we've been increasing our production and just been adding. Blood Orange has really been the reason for that, for us to add that. But we've been able to keep up and keep growing. So.
How big is Cheboygan? I mean, I have not gone up to Cheboygan. How big is it?
It's been a while since I looked at the population last time, but I think we're at like 2,500, maybe
Little town.
in Cheboygan. Yeah, but the Cheboygan County is very big, so that's probably up to 5,000, I would say, for the Cheboygan County. But the town is very small. We have a really nice small main street. It's really a hidden gem, though. We're about 15 minutes off 75.
Okay.
But there's a lot to do if you stop off before going to the UP or Mackinac City. We have biking trails and the
Swung
waterways.
by there when I was up in Marquette.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
On the way one or the other, not like
Yeah.
it's not adjacent to Marquette.
No,
It's
I
like
know.
Still 4 hours.
Well, after the wedding, we went from, Macomb to
Mac City.
Mackinac
right?
City. Then we went to the island. So that I could have very easily have swung over by there.
Yeah, it's a neat. The last time I went up to St. Ignace for work, that was the second to last stop on my little brew tour that I did up there.
Sure.
And it was definitely very interesting. The inside itself, it almost seemed not like a dive bar, but it had the people there as if you walked into it was all local people. There was nobody really away from local. Like everyone knew everyone. Everyone had their own glass. I think except the one thing that I noticed, I got everything poured into a plastic glass from what I remember.
Really?
Yeah. So about that.
There's a story that goes with
Yeah. So I don't know if you noticed. When were you up there? Summertime or wintertime?
It was probably last summer. It was probably near the end of the season.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you notice we have that patio out there and deck.
Yeah.
So technically, I believe the legality behind it is that we have to serve plastic out there, so that's why we keep it consistent with the plastic.
Really?
Inside.
That's a city ordinance, city law?
I am not certain on that, but I believe because I know if you go to the island,
Sure.
and you're out on. Have you guys been to the Pink Pony at all?
I've actually never been to Mackinac Island.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I was just there, but no, I haven't.
Okay, I know you mentioned it. But anyway, so they have a patio very similar to ours, but it's right by the water.
Okay.
But anything you order comes in the similar plastic cups that we serve there. So I think that is, it's, maybe it's like, I've listened to your guys' show talking about the dogs thing where it's like you might get away with it, but
Yeah.
at the same time, Cheboygan's so small, everybody knows everybody. It's our only brewery in town, so I don't know if it's something we'd be able to get away with as much as down here with the dog situation.
Well, I know a lot of places that I've been to have they'll put plastic cups next to the door for you to pour your glass into if you're going outside.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah.
First place off the top of my head that I know is Danny's out in Ferndale. That's the first one I could do. Augie's over in Madison Heights. They do it as well. But they also allowed smoking on the patio for the longest time, and people were just out there smoking as if it was just an outdoor smoking and drinking and eating area. So,
But I guess back to being in a small town, if someone tells on you, I mean, everyone would figure out who it is, and you'd be like, "Damn it, Margaret, you're not allowed in any longer." It just kind of seems like you would know, if it was, Todd or Margaret or whomever, because they would probably be like,
Todd.
"We have to stop this madness of."
Yeah, they are the the town buffoons. So
Tom and Margaret.
yeah,
Or
you
Todd
get
and
it right.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's I think it's just one of those things where we just want to make sure we're in compliance, and to risk it, especially being the only brewery in town, we'd let down a lot of people if anything were to go south for us on that.
Now, do you guys do food?
We do popcorn, but we're a food friendly brewery, so we encourage a lot of people to bring in food from Mulligan's, like I mentioned. They do a lot of our beers on tap for us. They're right down the road. There's a lot of great restaurants in Cheboygan. You have the Boathouse right across from us, where they actually will bring the food right across, and we have a menu and brewery, so you can call them up. They'll bring the food over to you. But with how small we are right now, we don't have the capacity for it.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like a place to go. How close are you to physical water at the brewery? Are you guys on water or?
We're right across from the Cheboygan River. So
Okay.
if you're on the patio, you can almost kind of see it.
Now-
Overlooking it.
Is that a all sports waterway, or is that just a canoe and kayak kind of?
There's definitely people that canoe and kayak on it. The Bob Lowe Island ferry actually goes. It's a little bit up the ways from us on Main Street where we're positioned. But yeah, you can take boats and.
So that's like a pontoon and an all sports kind of boat.
Yeah, yep, and that'll bring you around to our City Beach location and out into Lake Huron.
So has there been thoughts of actual physical expansion, like getting a bigger facility, or are we just content where we are?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely something we've talked about. It's one of those things with being statewide distribution. It might be something that makes more sense to go somewhere, maybe down here versus up there. Just with logistics, if we're talking, maybe out of state expansion eventually. So I think once those decisions are made, we'll have a better idea. But I think even the tap room up north might be something to be talked about, whether distribution out of state is a possibility for us right now or in the future. Just because, the nice thing about Cheboygan is, it's a hidden gem, but I definitely have been noticing an increase of tourists stopping off, not only to stop at the brewery, but to enjoy, everything that is offered there. So, I think you saw when you were up there, Ken, 37-person capacity in the tap room. And then
there wasn't much. I was sitting at the end of the bar by myself, and I'm like, all right, this is a little crowded.
But to say it sounds like kind of like Black Rocks when I was up there over the weekend.
I still haven't been to Black Rocks.
It's like I honestly, I mean, it's like super small.
I would agree with you there, especially before they added that outdoor. You were just crammed in that house.
Yeah, well, literally, it's a house. But when it was pouring in Marquette all the last 4 or 5 days, and you ain't drinking outside, so you're confined to the inside, and it was super cramped, super cramped.
So we have someone in our chat, Ryan, who has a question for you, and his question is: any chance for a crowler machine up at Cheboygan?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's definitely been proposed, and I think
I would think it'd be a huge hit for all the boating. I would assume that goes up there, and because you can't obviously bring glass into your boat, so
Right.
bringing cans and stuff. I know that's a big thing that I've talked to with Evan over at Baffin, because just there's so much boating going on in St. Clair Shores that would just be a huge hit to be able to take their beer out. But I know now that they plan on, I think they already started canning
Yeah, the mango. is being
Mango
canned.
Unchained. Yeah. Wow. So that's great for them. But if you want any of their others, Carly or what's it, Barley Ray Jepson,
Bob Barley,
Bob Barley.
and there is a Barley Ray Jepson.
There you go. So they use the barley pun twice. It's kind of
They also have a Heath Richards that just went on.
a Heath Richards.
Not a Heath Ledger, which
Well, I assume it's a pun on Keith Richards' name, not Heath.
yeah, but still, I would have liked a Heath Ledger.
Sometimes your names are like good and great, and
Sometimes
there are
just off.
sometimes where like you swing, you miss, and you struck out twice in one at bat.
Yeah, we gotta, we can only do what can be done.
Yeah, no, that's a great suggestion. We do offer cans to go of our core brands from the brewery
Okay.
currently, so at least you have that. But yeah, that's a great suggestion. I will follow up on that.
Well, there you go. Ryan Cosper over at Better on Draft, Facebook.com/Better on
He's our biggest fan, by the way.
He is your biggest fan. Oh,
Yeah,
so
he's officially.
remember that whole, everyone who shows up. So obviously Margaret and Todd are really, just assholes in the community. But Ryan, you're a good person. Thank you for listening. Tell your friends. I got somebody gave me a little Z's. I'm a little upset, and maybe we're putting them to sleep. Maybe it's my voice.
It is very
nice.
docile today.
Is it?
Yeah,
Is it?
we sound like we're one of those. And welcome to the Better on Draft podcast in the phone booth of
The
Better
pillow,
on
the pillow talk guy.
Well, I was
100.3.
Again, I was saying that I was trying to listen to other beer podcasts, and it literally sounds like everything's in a booth and people are NPRing it.
Well,
NPR.
It really does sound like, hello and welcome to the Better on Drift. We will be reviewing this beer.
101.9 WDT. NPR.
And as I put this can to my face, I feel this way and that way. And
Okay.
You sound like
Okay.
Mr. Burns just there.
So
Lou Smithers.
what, minus Cheboygan brands, what is your favorite Michigan beer to drink right now? I mean, we're in Oktoberfest season, we're in IPA season. So what's that first beer in your refrigerator?
Sure, definitely. And the nice thing about the craft beer community is that everybody can kind of appreciate, and we're all in this kind of together. It's about trying
everything's
different
good
things.
but IPAs.
But I've been really enjoying that Nord Sky from Black Rocks lately. Their Mosaic hops, those really shine through. That's what's in my fridge, commercially, and then obviously I have my kegerator, the porter I've been enjoying from us, and Blood Orange is always a good go-to, but I would have to say Black Rocks would be.
What about a beer release every year? Like, what's a beer release you have to get when it comes out? Whether it's just a seasonal like Oberon or something big and overblown like CBS.
Yeah. It's funny because
Hold on. First of all, is it not big and overblown?
It is.
What was it like the first time in 6 years that they released CBS?
Yeah, now it's the second time in 2 years.
Yeah,
The second time in a year.
Yeah.
I've still never had it.
Really?
I've had KBS so many
Didn't we
more
have CBS on the
times.
show?
No,
we
I
didn't
wasn't-
have CBS
no.
on the show. We had KBS, but not CBS.
I would have remembered that.
But
'Cause I
I'll make
never had
sure
it.
I've got a ticket for the Detroit one. I'll get you your bottle and you can enjoy it,
don't
I guess.
I have
I
some
mean,
in
don't
my
matter.
fridge. So.
Oh, okay. I mean, it don't matter to me because my favorite one's coming out in a couple more weeks.
I
so-
still haven't drank one of the 4 bottles of No Rules that I got from Perrin.
I think one of those are mine.
Yeah, one of them is
Yeah, I
yours.
keep forgetting.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not gonna get drank. So what are you,
I
what are you
know.
worried? It's
It's
not gonna
okay.
get drank
Yeah,
at
I
your
know.
place either.
that's okay. Flying Buffalo's coming out. It's okay.
Flying Buffalo is coming
Oh,
out.
I can't wait. Cans, baby. Oh, anyway.
It is coming in cans. So what about on the way to
Well, we
Sheboygan?
didn't even ask. Let him finish his favorite beer.
Well,
off.
we are. We are.
Oh, that's right, seasonal. I'm
Oh, that's
sorry.
okay.
we cut you
Yeah.
off.
No, that's okay. I'm always actually grabbing founders for the most part. If I can. See, I'm not one to wait. Do those lines like with the drafting table. I know you mentioned. I would never do that. I did camp out for iPhones back in high school, but now I have a job. So, but yeah, obviously I'm in and out of accounts. So I'm usually able to find something when it comes out. Wherever I'm at, if they have one in the back.
Sure.
Yeah.
Scratch my back, I scratch your back.
Yeah. So it works out.
Yeah.
I fully understand that when I go to places and they know about like my radio show, my podcast and stuff. And they're like, "Oh, have you tried this beer?" And they bring out, a really nice beer. But there are times
trying to get that shameless plug in, right?
there are times where they're just like, "Oh, have you had this beer?" And it comes out and it's, it's not a bad beer. It might be just be like breakfast out from Founders. I'm like,
Sure.
yeah, it's a good beer.
I mean, I guess that's not a bad, approach if you're a brewery. If you're, if you have an outlet to get, some, free plug every once in a while, I guess that's not a bad marketing.
Well, I
strategy.
think, and we were kind of talking about it off air, and we talked a little bit on air in regards to it. It's a very big community in regards to brewery as trying to help each other out. You could tell the ones that are not part of that community because they're not, they don't last very long. The ones that don't embrace it.
Yeah, they don't last very long. B, you don't normally see them at events. I mean, you might see them once in a blue moon, but you don't see. I mean, what 300 breweries in Michigan? Ken?
363 or something like that.
Something like that. I can bring it up on betterondraft.com/MI beer map.
Yeah, let's just call it. What would you say, Matt? 360?
Yeah.
We'll call it 360. Call it 360 breweries. How many of those go to like a major event? The Brewers
Well, you
Guild.
can only get so many.
You can only get so many.
Festival has
I
wait
agree.
list. A wait list.
I agree, and I'm trying to think, because I visited Black Rocks and Ordock over the past couple of days, and I'm trying to think like, what was Ordock at any of the events? And I'm like, they were definitely works.
The UP Beer Fest.
They're at the
UP Beer Fest. But are they going to come
The
traveling
number is
down?
357, including
357.
production breweries.
Holy shit!
With another 67 on deck.
So we have a potential of going over 4.
We'll probably be over 400 next year.
Over
End of
400.
next year,
Wow.
depending on which ones we think may close, but
Or get bought out.
That's definitely
that's a possibility.
We didn't talk about that.
Or
So
get reopened.
Can we have like how we have like a celebrity death pool? Can we have a brewery bought out?
I think
pool?
we've tried that a few times, and we've all been wrong every single
Yeah,
time.
I think we did. We'd have to check the radar, but I think we did a next brewery to get bought, and I don't know if anybody got Right Brain.
Right Brain. I don't know if
I
it
don't
was
think so.
somebody might have said Shorts before Shorts got the little the juice of 19.99% from Lush. So
I don't know. We'll have to find that in the archive somewhere.
it's probably somewhere. We need to take better track of our archives, or just pay someone to go through our all of our shows and write
Listen
notes.
to all 100 and some odd episodes.
Hey, do you want to make some side money?
Can we not just put our podcast into some sort of transcribing machine and it just prints out a script of everything that
Because
was said?
all those work,
Do you
right?
want to know the transcribe of Nick's laugh?
God,
blah, 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 blah.
God save us all.
Yeah.
You have a-
Transcribe that shit.
People make fun of my laugh too. It must be a Nick thing.
It must be. I think it is.
That's why I've been trying to go away from the microphone because I know people are gonna be like, "Wow,
this one
his
has no
laugh is
shame.
ridiculous."
I think I'm actually kind of tame tonight. I don't know.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
You're a married man now,
Yeah,
so
well, give me some more of the Imperial Pajama.
How's the ring treating you? I mean, you got to ask.
Not bad.
Well, a little heavy.
Have you lost it yet?
No, haven't lost it yet.
Not even a no shit. Where is it?
No.
Here, Nick, let's show the camera real quick.
Put your
we got
bling out there.
There you go. There you go. A little lower.
Yeah, lower.
Little there
How's
you
that?
go.
Right there?
Perfect.
Yeah. Yes, I am a married man. I'm off the market.
He's off the market, ladies. Sorry.
Sorry.
If you're hoping to get a little bit of Nick, both Nicks on this show are currently taken. We're going to take a quick break, though. We'll be right back. Better on Draft Podcast. And we are back, episode 150 of the Better on Draft Podcast.
That's pretty good docile voice.
My voice is docile? I don't know if it's that docile. I think I'm just...
I think we just have a. You know what it is? It's this sad, the seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah.
The seasons are just changing, and it's kind of bringing us down. No, that's a real thing, Nick.
Yeah, we've
I
had,
believe
we've had,
it. I'm
we've
not-
had
I'm not disagreeing.
6 seasonal changes this week.
Yeah, no.
yeah, it was all of a sudden. I mean,
It's
it
like
was,
75 on Monday, 82 on Tuesday.
Yeah, I
and
had to
then
put my AC unit on, and then
Really?
that next morning, Wednesday morning, I had to take it out because it was so cold in my bedroom because it dropped 30 degrees outside in a matter of a night. It was just so bad.
So I only cut my front yard because I'm just a terrible person. So I did my final cut on Tuesday or Wednesday, and I have an electric mower because I feel, hey, this is probably better. And I had gotten the whole front yard and then the first strip of the boulevard, that place between the street and the sidewalk. And I got the first strip of that part, and then the battery died because of course it does. Because why wouldn't it? So I just let it sit there for a few hours and charged the battery, and then 5 o'clock came and it started raining because it's Michigan and it's going to change its weather every 5 seconds. Sure. So I'm out in like no shirt, a pair of basketball shorts, and flip flops.
Butt?
Huh?
Butt? What?
No shirt, bare chested.
Yeah.
Basketball shorts and flip flops, literally running through my grass with this lawnmower, just trying to get it done, just so I can say, forget this, because there's only one thing I hate more than the lawn, and that's snow in the wintertime.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here.
But I'm gonna figure something out this season, this winter, to beat the snow.
Flamethrower.
I'm gonna figure out a way to flamethrow my driveway.
I have some connections, so.
Oh, no.
What I was thinking is, actually, I was going to go this way. I was going to get really cheap hairspray. And just cover it over the snow, light a match, and let the hairspray catch fire, melt the snow, and then once the snow's gone, once the hairspray's gone, all of it should be good to go. But I'm just gonna have this.
Sounds like a terrible idea
does.
that somebody's
It's
probably
awful
done on
idea.
YouTube. So we'll look. But with always segment 2.
Here is Robert with the beer news.
Robert has a chance.
Oh, Rob.
So speaking of Rob, he is now owed 2 French press punishments for.
I didn't lose
One
last
from
week.
you and one from me.
Yep.
And then I get one.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
from you.
I still owe you
Yeah,
one
still owe
too.
me one.
Should have remembered that.
Yeah, we're
'Cause-
a little on hold right now, folks.
I thought didn't we do
You
it
got him
last
last
week?
week.
Yeah, I
we
did
get it
last week.
I'm like, wait a
okay,
minute.
thank God, I
the
ain't doing
chocolate
that
whey.
again.
Yeah, I put the whey protein inside
Yeah,
your.
actually, I told people about that the next day at my wedding.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
we were all there,
terrible-
remember?
Yeah,
Well, no, like the
yeah.
like the
Another
other
reason
people-
for his family to hate me.
yeah, right. No.
So with segment 2, somebody in the chat wanted us to quickly discuss the Faygo beers from Detroit Beer Experiment. So what's going to be happening is at the Fall Beer Fest this year, all of the Detroit breweries are going to be making a Faygo inspired beer, and this is.
Do you have the list in front of you?
I do have the list in front of me. So for those of you who are Red Pop fans, it's going to be Traffic Jam and Stug making a Red Pop Kettle Sour.
Which is strawberry pop. Because we've got to tell everybody, if you're not from Detroit, Faygo is the Detroit soda.
Faygo is the Detroit
We call
soda.
it pop because when you open the top of it, it pop.
Correct.
So that's why we
So
call
it's
it
called
pop.
Faygo Pop.
So Faygo is the local soda of choice.
Correct.
Like Stroh's is our beer, Faygo's our pop.
Verner's is our
So-
ginger ale.
Yeah, so you're going to hear a lot of things that you're going to say, what the hell is this? Also, feel free to watch one of the episodes of Workaholics where they have a great shout out to Faygo. It's the one where they go to the ICP concert.
Oh, really?
And
Okay,
they
hold
did
on,
that?
hold
Blessed
on.
Carnival of Souls.
Hold
They
on.
did
Did
that?
you guys see that in 2018 there is a headline that Shaggy 2 Dope of ICP attempted to drop kick Fred Durst of Limp Bizkit
Yes, I saw
at
that
a
yesterday.
concert? That is a 2018 headline.
Was it at the Self Help Fest?
I have no idea. It just happened and he missed.
Yeah, because they did the at Freedom Hill.
No, it was definitely indoors.
Was it indoors?
This was indoors, yeah.
Because Limp Bizkit was in town
was
a couple weeks ago.
Probably in a garage somewhere. But I read this article about the ICP.
The ICP.
I don't know if you call
ICP?
them the ICP, where Shaggy 2 Dope's mom was dropping him off to concerts. Like, he wasn't going to concerts like as a baller or a boss. He was literally having his mom drop him off. So they've fallen on times.
So finishing out, because there's 6 more beers. Founders Detroit is making a Scotch Cherry Whoop Whoop inspired by a rock and rye. It's a rye Scotch ale with dark cherry and vanilla. Easter Market Brewing is going to be making a Moon Mist IPA.
That's
a
the one
shame.
I'm most excited about.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
Moon Mist is Mountain Dew for those of you
Yeah,
who are
Moon Mist is the Mountain
non-Detroiters.
Dew.
What the hell is a Moon Mist?
Brew Detroit is making a cotton candy Berliner Weiss. Detroit Beer Co. made a 60-40 Radler.
I want to know what the 60-40 is. Is it like 60 beer, 40 like citrus, or?
I don't know. Atwater is doing a double dirty blonde with Faygo orange and coriander. So I guess they're doing a dirty blonde mixed with Faygo orange. And Batch Brewing is going to be doing a better made grape Faygoza using Detroit-based potato chips in the beer as well. So they're going to be using better made potato chips with a grape goza.
Is it the standard Better Made, or is it like it's not going to be the barbecue? Right?
I assume it's just going to be standard Better Made. So Better Made chips are a Detroit potato chip. So basically, all of this is Detroit for those of you who do not know. So you can go check them out. It's going to be at the Fall Beer Festival on October 26th and 27th at the Eastern Market. Shed 4 and 5. You can get tickets at Michigan Breweries Guild's website. No, it does not come with a DD. Yes, you should get enthusiast tickets. And
if you get a DD ticket, that does not mean you get a DD.
That is correct.
That means that you are the DD.
You are the DD.
So,
so we have a few more messages from the channel real quick. Somebody named Dale wants to know if there's any chance that the Panda Juice will be canned and sold in stores. And somebody else suggested a Blood Orange Honey New England IPA.
Oh, Jesus.
Whoever block that person right now.
You wouldn't believe how many questions I get a day. Hey, are you going to do a New England IPA? And
did you guys do one up at Cheboygan or no?
well, we've done on our nano batch, and I mean the Panda Juice was definitely it had adjuncts in it like a New England. We had some oats, we had some flaked wheat.
This was two separate people who asked this question, by the way.
Oh, sure.
There's two different New England people that want to know.
Apparently.
The Panda Juice probably not going to be canned. Will it be brewed again? If I have my say, yeah.
I'm sorry.
This is not the time nor the place.
I know.
I don't know what is he doing.
I just saw the
He's
video.
watching the ICP video.
Yeah, nothing happened.
Yeah, I know. That's the funny
The guy who was an actually trained wrestler missed a drop kick, so I guess he hit the drop kick. So along with the news, there's also a new ruling from a federal judge came down, I believe it was last week, in regards to wine. And as Judge Arthur Tarnow said Friday that in Michigan is operating in an unjustifiable protectionist regime. That is his quote. As such, he rules that it is unconstitutional to restrict out-of-state retailers from shipping wines to Michigan. While this is going to be a victory for consumers, it's going to be a huge victory for the industry as it adds the potential for more market share in the wine and spirits market. So I guess my question to you guys is, does this look like, could this take a market share from the beer world being able to import wines from other states? Does this case look like it could set a precedent for beer to be able to import beer from other states into the state? And especially with the 3-tier system that we have currently, what do you see? And I'll start with Matt, because Matt obviously was in the 3-tier system on the distribution side. So,
well, you said spirits though, right?
So, well,
because
wine and spirits.
That throws the whole monkey wrench into that, because wine, it makes sense because everybody's gaga over wine. It's so all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But spirits are still a very controlled item in that you can have in Michigan a store that only sells beer and wine, but you need a separate license to sell liquor with your beer and wine. So is that going to be changed? Like, we've recently gone to this position where basically every gas station now serves beer and wine or sells beer and wine. And every Speedway and all these things have just beer and wine licenses.
That's because there's an unlimited amount of beer and wine licenses in the state.
So is that going to extend to liquor maybe? Because you obviously would need a liquor license to...
Well, I think this would be consumer shipping. So being able to receive beer from a brewery shipped to your house, or a wine shipped to your house from, say, you wanted to order a wine from someplace in Napa Valley and you could get it shipped to you legally now.
But I guess what are the tax implications? Because right now you don't really pay state sales tax on things like Amazon, right?
You do.
I think
do?
that's changed.
Well, it's only if there's a facility in the state.
Well, there's 3 of them.
I think, in Michigan there's facilities as well as
Amazon,
I think it's the internet tax bill or whatever that's about to come out.
And there's 3 Amazon facilities in Michigan today. You got the one in Livonia, one in Romulus, and now the new one.
But I don't think that if Amazon doesn't have a footprint in wherever it is, North Dakota, let's say, they don't pay state sales tax. if there is a state sales tax.
They
now.
might not, but I'm pretty sure that there is a law on the books that's going through like our United States Senate and
I
Congress.
think it's going on right now.
My thought is, how are they going to collect tax, the amount of tax, and each of these states have their own independent tax on liquor, cigarettes, tobacco, all these things. So is someplace in California, for example, going to collect a Michigan tax to send it into Michigan?
But in regards to that, let's look at the tobacco field, because you can bring in tobacco from other states, purchase it legally, crossing state lines and shipping, and not have to pay the entry tax into the state of Michigan. So I can purchase cigars from, say, Kentucky, from like Cigars International, and not have to pay the Michigan tobacco tax. So maybe that's where everything kind of starts.
I mean, you can do that now with liquor and wine and beer. I mean, but the thing is, a company, because you're doing it yourself, but another company shipping in, like we can go to Ohio, buy Yingling, and it's not like we have to declare it when we get here.
But if we cross state lines with more than one case per person, we're actually breaking law.
Cool.
You say cool, but that's true. And they do that especially because look at what happened or what's happening in Columbus, because Columbus is opening up a dollar store liquor store, like a clearance wholesale liquor store for liquor that hasn't been sold yet. So they're going to be unloading a bunch of liquor in Columbus.
Ohio?
Ohio, yes. So the implication, especially the rules why they have that, the inability to bring so much beer, so much liquor across state lines, is so that, for people like us, they don't care. Like the state of Michigan does not care, but it's for people like, say for instance, and obviously, let's say a different place, because I was about to do a plug, but we're not going to plug
Like a Schmatuna Schmaker?
No. Like say Finesse Liquor over in Warren, Michigan, former sponsor of Better on Draft. If they went to Columbus, bought a bunch of booze,
Or like if Three Scoreboard was stocking their bar. With
no,
us.
we like Ryan. We like Ryan. Ryan's good people. They might be sponsoring us again.
Really?
Breaking news.
Might. I said might.
Really quick. So the whole internet sales tax thing, that
Yes.
was a Supreme Court case,
Okay.
a U.S. Supreme Court case that was decided on back in June of this year.
Okay. So is it what's the ruling?
I'm not about to read the 40-page
Okay.
decision on it.
So
but-
there is a ruling.
but
We'll
there
figure
was
it
a
out.
ruling.
If
It
anybody in the chat knows,
it
feel
was
free
five.
to tell
It
us.
went 5-4. It basically saying that if South Dakota's losing out, I think it started in South Dakota, and it basically
You were so close, Matt.
trickled into. No, I do think that there is some legislation on that.
He said North Dakota, but it was South Dakota.
That is actually.
But so what about, in regards to let's talk you as a sales rep, because obviously that's going to, create an issue that now me as a consumer, I'm able to buy any beer I want if I want it shipped to me. So if I'm willing to pay that pretty penny for that beer, that cuts into your sales. That cuts into your off-premise sales. Most likely it's going to cut into your off-premise. But what do you as a salesperson, do you have a different outlook? Or maybe as a consumer, are you excited that, now Cheboygan can go reach if somebody wants to pay for, a 24-pack, 8 or 6 4-packs of cans of Blood Orange and they want it shipped to them, now I can send it to them. So what's the balance?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we get tons of messages. A lot of people vacation up to Cheboygan and they want their Blood Orange honey year round out of state. And unfortunately, that's something that it's difficult enough to get distribution. Now, I mean, especially now, we came in at the right time in 2011 with our distributors in Michigan. We were able to gain that shelf space. But from that outlook, from the positive side, now somebody messages us and says, "Hey, can you ship us some?" Obviously, however that, transpires, that's going to let us get that in their hands. So that's great from a brewery perspective. The only thing is that from a capacity perspective, we just have enough to keep up with Michigan as it is. Everything we're producing is really, going. So then, that poses other challenges. Also, you have to consider too, the quality of the product that's going out too. Now it's shipping. Is it staying cold on these trucks? Is it, how are they shipping? How is it packaging? What dates are they going to have when it arrives, on the product? So I think from a quality control standpoint, it's also a little concerning too.
Well, I think that would be more on the consumer based on how much they'd want to spend in regards to how much they want it to get shipped for. I think a lot. So you talk about how a lot of people who vacation in the summer up to Cheboygan, or even if you have what are those snowbirds? Snowbirds go to Arizona, Florida for the winter, and they want your beer. You could technically even make it like a ticket release to where, all right, this is how much we have, this is how much we're going to sell and ship. If you want it, come buy it, and if not, it's not like it's bad beer that you can't just sell right out the door. But I think there's a lot of opportunity for you guys to get your beers out of state. And the only thing is that I don't think the cost of effort is going to help you guys, because I don't think, and this is going to sound not with the negative connotation, so don't take it that way. But nobody's knocking down the door to get Cheboygan beers. Nobody's paying, we had Malo on last week with Drafting Table. Nobody's, paying $700 or $300 for a bottle of blood orange honey.
Nobody's offering a Nintendo Switch.
So nobody. It might not be good for you guys in regards to what you are, because I see you guys more as a small city brewery. You're that hometown brewery that has the distribution and people enjoy it. You have solid beers. You're the only one in Michigan right now that makes an alt beer that's canned, so I'm appreciative of that. But what do you think as Cheboygan? Is it maybe better for the mid tiers, your Shorts, your Founders, your Bells? Do you think it would help the even smaller tiers like your Eastern Market, Traffic Jam and Snug, Motor City Brew Works? What do you see? Like, could it be helpful for the community to allow it, or is it just going to be kind of like a non-issue for you guys?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it also gives like an incentive, right? Like if you are debating whether you want to do, a big beer like Drafting Tables, Mallow, now you're not just limiting yourself to, in-state or maybe even tap room. You're allowing, even more fans to get on board and taste that beer.
Just imagine an internet sale of like some type of beer like that, like your Hunafu or even CBS or anything like that, where the beer is only going to be sold online. You have to pay for shipping, and you don't have. But I mean, you don't have to wait in line for hours.
I wonder if that's gonna do like how they do like online ticket sales with Ticketmaster, bring in bots to do that.
Ooh.
I wonder if
But
that's
also,
I wonder if that's gonna bring like a whole another can of worms, because we all know that that's a problem with ticket sales by doing it online.
Have you guys ever been screwed by like bots just completely buying out tickets?
I have not, but I think our friend Tony can.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Oh yeah, the All-In
wrestling
Chicago.
show in Chicago. The bots basically bought up all the tickets of that. So
they
the thing
bought
is,
tickets.
but
and
beer
there
is
was,
perishable, right? So
True.
yeah.
I don't know if bots are people are gonna employ that many
well,
bots. And,
Well, so
Well,
is a
hold-
ticket for a concert. It ends the day that the concert's
Well,
done.
yeah, and then hold on. I mean, it's only going to take one person, one beer aficionado in
one asshole.
one asshole, whatever, one CBY to
Oh,
program.
we haven't used that in a while.
I know, I had to bring it back. To program something that acts as a bot to do exactly
Buys him all the beers.
buys them all the beers. And there's nothing that anyone can do because he's buying it legally, technically. I mean,
I think they're okay. I think
unless the brewery institutes some kind of rule, so many allowed per household or something like that,
or per shipping address,
or per shipping address. But you load up the bot to do 5 separate shipping addresses. Hey, Mom, I'm having beer shipped to your house. It's not going to stop them from doing that.
I just think there are enough geeks on one side that the geeks on the other side would figure out a way around it.
But you think that the geeks at Ticketmaster would have figured that out by now? No, they haven't.
But I don't think there's an incentive for Ticketmaster to care.
No, they don't.
And I think there was an article.
But
Wasn't that Ticketmaster is making some of these bots too?
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't.
Because they do part of the resale programs too.
Yeah, they do. They have the verified ticket program.
Yep.
Yeah, so they're doubling.
Yeah,
Up on
they're
it,
double
basically.
dipping.
Yeah, because they don't have to
double
pay their
dipping,
own
yeah.
fees. Therefore, they can resell a ticket.
Okay, fine. All right, from that perspective, okay, fine. But this is beer. I mean, let's say a brewery like a Founders or a Goose Island did something like this, selling beer via internet, similar to how Ticketmaster or Vivid Seats sells tickets. They're not going to take the time to do all that.
But also, I mean, if we're going to get into that, what stops me from buying beer right from the Founders warehouse in Detroit or in Grand
Well,
Rapids.
yeah,
and
I mean
not-
that's
and avoiding the
but that's
three-tier
an
system.
option too. But what's going to stop them from doing? They do pub
Taxes. and a
okay,
three-tier system.
taxes. Then they do their pub releases and all that. What's going to stop them from doing an all internet release?
The 3-tier system and taxes.
Okay,
Because
do you
then
think that's going to change?
yes.
Well, then there you go.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify, Ken. They're saying that the brewery would directly send, or are they going through a third-party system like the brewery
So
sends it to them and then
this isn't
shipping it
a-
out? Because I
this
guess I was
isn't
under that impression.
A brewery. This is going to be a winery. And it goes. Hold on a second. A new ruling from a federal judge came down this week in regards to wine, as the judge is operating, or Michigan is operating an unjustifiable protectionist regime. As such, he rules that it is unconstitutional to restrict out-of-state retailers from shipping wines to Michigan. So I guess this is going from tier 2 to tier to the consumer, or sorry, tier 3 to the consumer.
Right.
So this would be if I wanted from, say, because I mean, I would assume that would also rely self-distro, as you're your own distro, therefore you're your own tier 3. But I would say this is like Binny's, maybe, if I wanted to order something from Binny's and ship it to me here in Michigan.
Now, we have a TTB here in Michigan, right? So does that basically say that any brewery in California should be approved by the Michigan TTB, the Tax and Trademark Bureau, because they're approved by another states? Can't Michigan say they haven't been approved by our Tax and Trademark Bureau, thus they're not allowed to send in our state? Isn't there some sort of... I mean, I get the issues against, they probably ruled against Interstate Commerce Act clause that you can't protect your own state's items versus out-of-state items. But in the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms, we have restrictions about what can and can't be on a beer can or on a wine label. And if it's legal in California but not legal in Michigan, where does... I mean, maybe we have to read the full decision to answer that, but... Where does
Well, this would only be simply for wine. Like, this isn't even talking
we
about
said
beer.
spirits though?
No,
didn't we?
like this is, could it start
Okay, well let's say
a chain to go into spirit? Because that's the thing too, is that we have different tax rates on spirits that, potentially we could purchase spirits from another state and it'd be cheaper than purchasing it over at, say, Zatuna Liquor over in Rochester Hills, just south of M59 on Rochester Road.
But what if there's a brewery in California that has a label that either has something or doesn't have something on it that would be illegal for a Michigan winery to have on its label? So is that Michigan now required to allow that regardless?
I would think at that point, if they wanted to ship to Michigan or ship to a specific state, they would have to go through the Michigan TTB to get approved to be able to ship
But
that
it
label.
sounds
And if
like-
they can't, then they can't sell it.
It almost sounds like I guess the plaintiff, the suing winery, hadn't gone through the Michigan TTB. Because if they had gone through the TTB, there would be none of this issue. They would be allowed to sell beer in Michigan or sell their wine in Michigan, right?
Well, they can sell it in Michigan, but they're talking like if they don't have distro in Michigan, but if they don't have distro in Michigan, say, well, let's use in Illinois, because obviously they sell it to Binny's. Now Binny's wants to sell it to me in Detroit,
Binny's is a liquor store.
in Chicago.
Okay.
So Binny's wants to like sell it to me in Detroit. So that's the whole thing is me purchasing it from Binny's. So the winery has already sold it to Binny's, and now Binny's wants to sell it to me.
Meh. I think there's I just think that they need to register. They have to go through the proper channels. The winery, the starter of it needs to go through the right channels to sell it. However, because Michigan needs to be able to know what's coming in and out of their state, and we have a 10-cent deposit, and that's why this will never happen beer-wise, because every can, bottle, what have you, that gets sold in Michigan has a 10-cent label on it, and if that brewery doesn't brew in Michigan, they don't have to add that extra label on it. Thus, they have different cans, bottles, wrappers, etc.
I think we're overthinking this.
Yeah, probably.
That's
Okay, that's okay.
for as low as you are, I couldn't hear you, so you should probably talk into the
That's
mic.
okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But would wine be better on draft?
I've had a few
Sparkling wines.
not sparkling wines, but like I've gone to a few wine bars that use like a full draft system.
What about those Setzer waters?
I know Bigalora has four wines on draft over
I
there.
know
in
the
Royal
Meat House
Oak.
up in Rochester has a couple as well.
Yeah, it's definitely a different taste. It's not something that you're gonna get straight from the bottle. But there is one more article that I wanted to go through before we take a break. And this would have been, I believe, last week based on the date of the article. Lagunitas announced that it's going to lay off 12% of its workforce, which is more than 100 employees company-wide. CEO Maria Stipe maybe, commented on the move, stating the craft beer market is rapidly evolving and in many ways more challenging, and that they are dedicated to weathering the storm to continue to be successful both in U.S. and globally. The pressure Stipp noted the company is feeling due to the part that almost 6,700 breweries are currently in operation, with another near 3,000 in planning, according to the Brewers Association. Brad Watson, chief economist of the Brewers Association. I didn't even know there was a chief economist there.
Economist.
Economist.
You put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Fair. Says shelves are continuing to get more crowded. Tap handles are harder and harder to get. And for a nationally brewing company like Lagunitas, that poses a lot of challenges because broad distribution is necessary for them in order to grow. Watson also seems to indicate the national distribution may work against Lagunitas among craft beer aficionados, for whom being local is an integral part of a brewery's appeal. So Rob, who is always awesome at doing all of these little things, leaves us the question of, is this another green flash in the making, or are there beers well enough to sustain the impending storm?
Say it one more time.
Is this another green flash in the making, or will they be able to weather the storm?
And they're a Heineken company.
They are a Heineken company, so they have Heineken. So like the hierarchy is like Heineken, then Lagunitas, and then Lagunitas owns
Shorts.
well, no, they only own 19.99% of Shorts. Be very specific.
I mean, my initial thought is it kind of sucks, but it's part of streamlining everything. Like every industry is streamlining. We talked about, the AB and Bev, the high end, whatever. They acquire a group and they don't need two reps chasing the same handle for the same portfolio. But I think there's a side conversation that needs to be had here that hasn't been had. But I think I want to have Nick's opinion on this 100 job layoffs before I.
Better on draft Nick or Cheboygan Nick?
Yeah, that Nick.
Okay.
Both of them.
You want my opinion about job layoffs?
at Lagunitas.
I guess why?
Okay.
I mean, I guess why? Like,
why do I want your opinion, or why do
no,
they
no, no.
want-
Why? Why? What's the reason for the layoff? Are they preparing for something that's going to be happening?
There's probably
here?
a lot of
mean-
duplication of ownership in regards to properties, like how many people are working for the company. Like you don't need a specific amount. Like you don't need
7 accountants. to
You
do
don't
one.
need. Well, you don't need a 7 accountants. You don't need a Lagunitas rep and
Right.
a Heineken rep
No,
in the
yeah,
same area.
but,
You just need a Heineken rep.
All right, so I'm just gonna repeat the quote that Maria Stipp said. The craft beer market is rapidly evolving and in many ways more challenging. We are dedicated to weathering the storm to continue to be successful both in the U.S. and globally. In order to do that, we took difficult but necessary actions. If you're looking, I mean, they're talking expansion with that statement. They're talking about U.S. and globally. So if they haven't expanded already with the Lagunitas brand.
Well, the
or
whole
just
point of buying the Lagunitas band was to expand it to Europe.
So
and,
wouldn't you want to keep those 100 people to do just that?
yeah, but you don't need a Metro Detroit rep. That's
Okay.
what we just saw with Constellation
Right.
and
Okay.
Ballast Point.
Okay. That's fine. But there are, as far as I'm concerned, Michigan is not the only place that buys craft beer.
That's true. But
As
this is,
well as the United States, you still have look at Shannon Long's doing right now with her business.
Yeah, brew export.
With Brew Export. She is taking beer from maybe these. I mean, I'm going to call these middle tier kind of breweries. I mean, because they're not like the They're not like the
Well,
founders.
she's getting it
She's
from.
I mean, she's getting them
she's
from all
getting it
across.
from Founders. She's getting
Yeah.
from New Holland.
Yeah,
she's
and I think
getting
Dark
it-
Horse has been thrown in there too.
Yeah.
These middle tier
Maybe
breweries.
not Founders, because Founders has got that San Miguel fuck you
that-
money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we know they're not craft, but anyway, I digress.
I did not say that.
I said it anyway. I digress. These middle tier breweries and sending them to countries where you wouldn't even think that they'd be into it, and she's making a point in the industry that they're totally into it. So wouldn't you? So I don't know.
But again, you're still there's still a lot of like duplicate employees probably within Lagunitas when they got purchased
so
by
then that's just
Heineken.
That's just bad. Well, I mean,
It's
I
consolidation.
It's consolidation, but that's something that you should have saw coming way before you made the purchase.
Well, I mean that's
I
on
don't know.
Heineken, not Lagunitas.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, Heineken, being the parent company.
Well, they
Say
probably
least.
attempted to save the jobs, but sooner or later you can't just throw away money to throw away
Well,
money.
no, it's true. I guess it really depends on what 100 positions are they laying off.
that they did not specify.
No, they're not. Yeah, and I see that. So I mean, if it's, I know it seems to me, me being in corporate America, that companies are trying to do more with less.
Oh, they've been doing that for decades.
But they're really doing that now, 2018, 21st century. I see it on a daily basis.
They
Yeah,
want
Ford
you-
just came out with something that they were laying off people too.
Yeah.
So
3,000.
How many?
3,000.
3,000. Yeah, 3,000. I mean, doing more with. With Ford. I mean, they're going to be doing, unfortunately, with robots. But that's a totally separate discussion from from something like this. Now, that's not to say that you can't use robots to brew beer, because, oh gosh, that's kind of scary.
yeah, but I
there
don't
is
think
some automation.
That,
There's-
yeah, that is kind of freaky. Now that I bring it up and
But
you
that's
mention it.
That's the thing, though, is that it's automation, but it's still science. Like the amount of money
yeah,
that
it is science.
Anheuser-Busch puts in R&D just to make sure that their
Yeah.
automation is,
Oh, definitely.
their beers taste the same everywhere. I still
still
don't
need
think
to
you're
have
ever
human
going to take away from what the local bar is, the local dive, the local brewery, the local place you go drink.
I think those are going to be okay.
Those will never. I cannot see a reason why those will ever go away.
Unless
Because
unless just business for that area, that local area goes bad.
Even so, every single small town has a bar. A
Yeah.
bar, a post office, and maybe a convenience store or a hardware
Well, Harper
store.
Woods doesn't have a post office anymore.
Well, that's sad.
Anyways, my
It
thought
was
is
in the mall, but the mall got auctioned off.
when for 1.3 million. That's it.
3.1. Yeah.
No, 1.3.
No, it's 3.1.
Was it? Anyways,
But that's a terrible amount.
so here's my question: when Lagunitas was initially bought by AB
Heineken.
Heineken, how many jobs did that create to initially start up the distribution channels and all that stuff? I would say probably a decent amount.
Yeah, I would say
So
probably.
maybe they hired 300 to 500 people to get everything going,
Right.
And now they're trimming, the fat, if you will. And how many ancillary jobs were created around the world to represent, distribute, export, move around this product, just not exactly by Lagunitas. So I think this is not a net negative. This could be a solo negative in that Lagunitas now killed 100 jobs,
Sure.
but I think there were probably more than 100 jobs created in the wake of Lagunitas being sold. I mean, do you think the Lagunitas people are just Scrooge McDucking and swimming through their
No,
money?
I don't think
They're probably
so.
putting it in other holdings, in other thoughts that they
No,
want to do.
I don't think they're doing that. I don't
That
think
money
a lot of
created
companies
other
are doing
jobs
that. Yeah.
in other fields. It's
Yeah.
just in this specific field. I mean, if you run a small paper company, you don't need 3 accountants.
No.
But you have them because that makes the dynamic of the show work.
Sure.
God damn it. All right. We are going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with segment 3, Better on Draft Podcast. And we're back, episode 150, Better on Draft podcast. There we go.
Kai passed.
Feeling a little dyslexic today. And as always, with segment 3, it is Matt Bush.
Hey. All right, cool. So, couple of fun questions. I'm kind of pulling this all out of my ass because I've been doing a lot of other things of late. So the word Cheboygan actually has an ancient meaning. Not ancient, but an
Native
indigenous.
American.
Yeah, that would be a better word. Does Cheboygan? Do you already know what Cheboygan means?
I have an inkling.
Okay. What do you think it means?
It's something about the waters, I believe.
Okay.
Something.
According to Wikipedia, that's not even remotely close.
Oh, okay.
So, according to Wikipedia, and this could have been edited by me for all I know, so it wasn't. But the name of the city shares the name of the county, obviously. Although the precise meaning is no longer known, it may have come from an Ojibwe word meaning this.
Is that how you say that too, by the way?
Ojibwe?
Ojibwe?
Yes.
I do have an Indian card too, Ojibwa.
Was it? Well, I can't say anything now involving lakes. Rivers Pass, Large Stone, Flaming Arrow, or Sewing Needle.
I know the answer, so I'll let you guys guess.
Oh, you do? Oh, sorry, Mr. Fancy Pants.
Repeat it one more time.
Does the Ojibwe word it
For Cheboygan.
mean Rivers Pass, Large Stone, Flaming Arrow, or Sewing Needle?
I'm going with Rivers Pass because I already did the water thing. So
Go with the stone.
What do you think it is?
It's sewing needle.
It is Sewing Needle.
Sewing needle.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
I don't know why either. I just know that.
I was just thinking with all the waters and
That's fair.
waterways, yeah.
in honor of our 150th episode,
150.
this famous puzzle always has 150 pieces.
Famous puzzle always has 150 pieces.
Correct.
Well, my first guess was going to be a Scrabble board. But I don't know if that's considered a puzzle. Like,
I'm using the word puzzle loosely in here.
okay. So a 150 piece puzzle. Like the first thing that came into my mind was a Scrabble board. Next in my mind would have been Jenga, but I don't think Jenga goes that high. Because that would be
Don't think so
50
either.
levels, and that's a pretty big Jenga if you're going up 50 levels. So I'm gonna, unless you guys have another
150
piece
Pieces?
puzzle.
Not offhand.
So yeah, let's just go with a Scrabble board.
A Rubik's Cube.
A Rubik's Cube.
Rubik's Cube.
You
There
know,
are
you were on the
100
right track, Ken.
There are
100
150 colored squares on a Rubik's Cube.
150 colored squares on a Rubik's Cube. So there's what's that? 9
by
18,
6.
27.
I read it on the internet, so I think it's
Oh,
right.
okay. Sure.
9 times 6 is right.
54.
100.
9 times 6 is 54.
54.
Well, let me see what it said.
You're a fact check yourself.
Well, each cube doesn't have a full 6 sides because like
A professor's
corners-
cube has 100. Oh,
Did you
it
fuck
says,
up?
Yeah, I did. It does this not look like a Rubik's cube? I guess it's a giant.
Oh, that ain't even fair.
Sorry, I'm wrong. It happens
Yeah,
a lot.
you are.
Get used to it.
We
so,
are.
one of the games we will be playing. Just hold on to that.
Okay.
Don't open it yet.
Maybe pass
Give one to
to
Ken-
me.
yeah, give one to Ken.
Yeah. Pass it. Take one. Pass it down.
So you have a pen in your hand, and I'm
Okay.
going to time you all.
You're gonna time it. This sounds like great radio.
So you have. Nope, don't open it yet.
I'm just getting it ready.
You have
Make sure I got it all.
you have 6 clues in your book or on this sheet of paper, and they are all logos of craft breweries in Michigan. So upon my go, you will open it up and guess what the logo is.
Okay.
The first person to get done wins, and you must raise your hand when you're done. You can no longer write. So if you get any of them wrong,
All
you're
right.
out.
So what we're going to do is before we go, I'm opening it so I can show the camera.
It's fine. I have a photo of it if you want me to
I
put it.
should. There we go. So everyone can see
There are 6 logos, partial logos, if you will.
Yeah.
So it's really just a battle between the Nicks. So let's see, Nick Paglia, the newly married man, if you can beat Nick, the brewery representative. So on 3, we're going to go. 1, 2, and 3. Go.
I just don't know the.
So 7 seconds. It's a battle.
All right,
Looks like.
So for those of you who are, I'll just do this because I know all 6 answers. So you can get really close. The top 2 have meaning.
Actually, all 6 have meaning.
Well, the
All
top
right.
2 have double meaning.
Paglia finishes in
probably
23
got
seconds. Did you finish yet?
Probably got 2 out of
I didn't
4
finish.
wrong.
Keep
2 out of
going.
6 wrong.
Keep going.
Yeah, keep going while we're going. So
Yeah, I probably got 2 out of the 6 wrong.
so
All right. So we're just going to stop then because 30 seconds of dead air sucks. So
That's why I was showing on the
top
camera.
left, what-
So make sure if you guys go to facebook.com/betterondraft, you can check out what we were doing. Make sure you see us live every Friday night, 7 p.m. Join us in the chat. Chat with us. Chat with the guests that we have in studio. Big little tease next week. We have Travis Fritz on from
Old Nation.
as well as Joe from Brew Detroit to do the M43 versus M43 challenge in our Detroit studio. So I won't have to worry about the boards. I can drink and I can have fun.
I just
so
put a photo of that up. So
awesome.
All right.
So top left, everyone knows what that is, correct?
Sellerman's?
It is Sellerman's. Nick, get closer to the mic.
Yes, that's what I have.
Sellerman's.
Sorry. Better on draft, Nick, the one who's been doing this for 150 episodes.
Wow.
what was the one to the right of that one?
Latitude
42.
Correct. The next one, the second one down on the left.
I'm not sure. I think this is wrong. I said River Rouge.
It is.
That is correct.
It
No
is River
shit,
Rouge
really?
Brewing. Yep.
Wow. Okay.
Nick, number 2. What did you think for the fourth one? The second down. on
That's
the right.
one I had a blank, actually. The only one I had blank.
Nick Paglia.
It's a leaf.
Rustic Leaf?
There you go.
No kidding, right? Really? Oh my god,
All right,
I'm super excited.
Third one down on the left.
That's drafting table.
That is drafting table.
I had that as well.
And Nick, number 2. What did you have for the bottom right?
Oh,
I
don't
put
ask me.
batch.
Close, but no cigar.
Sherwood?
That is Sherwood. Brewing
Holy
Company
shit, I got all them right. That's crazy.
Damn.
in 23 seconds.
I would say, Nick, the Cheboygan rep. Yeah, but we've been looking at all this stuff for
Yeah.
a few years, a
I was
little
gonna
more.
say, you get caught up in your own brewery quite a
Yeah,
bit.
that's very,
so-
very
I mean, I thought, when I looked at the Rustic Leaf, I'm like, okay.
It took me a
I'm like,
minute
you
to
know
get to the
what?
Latitude
Okay.
42 one. That was the one I was having
No,
trouble on at
I
the
knew the
beginning.
Latitude 42 one. The
But I could
River,
see the Sellerman's one through the thing. and
the
I'm like,
River
oh, God.
Rouge one's like,
That one was super familiar, but it was like it couldn't come to me. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is it?
Like-
Not
So
Detroit Beer
this will
Cup,
be
like
one of the
something
games that
similar.
we'll
Yeah,
be playing
like-
tomorrow, making random people guess what the logo is without the label. There's a couple that we can't do. One is Blake's because it's just the big word of Blake's, and I can't give someone just an empty box and say, make this a beer label.
Put a picture of AA Ron Langtot on there. Just be like,
Aaron.
find this man, get a free token.
So I guess I wanted to end by debriefing Nick and finding out, the breweries he hit while he was in the UP.
Really, we only hit up 2. We hit up Ordock and we hit up Black Rocks.
Both in Marquette.
But yeah, basically both in Marquette. Well, they're literally like right down the street from each other. We did hit up the Veering restaurant, which I believe is Marquette Harbor Brewing. But we were there really for the food, if anything. They do brew in their establishment, but I think we were just super into the food more than anything. Awesome food. I had shrimp scampi over there. Nice little sit-down restaurant.
Yep, Veerling is a brewery.
I think, but they
Marquette Harbor
Market Harbor
Brewery.
Brewing, yeah. Awesome sit-down restaurant. Kind of, it's sit down, but it's not super, all the way nice. It is a little on the casual side.
It's the UP, everything's casual.
Yeah, UP is everything is casual.
Yep. So Marquette's actually got 2 breweries up and coming: the Marquette Brewing Cooperative, as well as Superior Culture. And just west of Marquette is our friends over at Barrel and Beam.
I think actually City of Marquette's already started plugging that already on their tourist website.
Yep. And
if
you'd
I'm
have
not
to
mistaken.
go either further west to Ishpeming to figure out.
Schwemming.
Ishfiming.
That's what they said.
Ishfiming,
That's what they say it on the radio up there.
Fair enough.
don't
Or
know,
you got to
that's-
go on your way over to Munising, and pretty much as you drive through Munising, you can get to one of the two breweries in
if
there.
I can say if you do make it, if you're a big like hiking kind of person up there,
Outdoorsman, yeah. for
outdoors kind of person, I do recommend going to the falls along the Pictured Rock Lake shore.
But don't take a selfie there and fall off because you might die.
Well, no, you can't physically get to. I mean, you can, but
Someone
it's
just did
barricaded.
that and went over the barricade to take a selfie and
And
fell off
Munising
and died.
Falls.
Oh no, I had picture rocks.
Oh, Pictured Rocks.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but you can't help but the fact that there was 4 or 5 foot waves out there. But whatever.
So I did pour you a beer. I didn't forget about that.
Okay.
Also on the fruity side.
This beer is
like
the
cotton candy.
31,543rd ranked beer on Beer Advocate.
So it's
Wait, there's a full ranking number?
Yeah, there is.
wow.
Is it for the brand or is it or
No,
not
the
brand?
beer stats. It's ranked number 31,543.
I wonder what was
It's a
31,000.
3.62 out
Whatever.
of 5. And the one thing that I read about it is served on tap in a big frickin' glass mug. Amber color with a finger of white foam atop, spotty lacing, aromas of cracker, biscuit, grapefruit,
Yeah, cracker. Biscuit,
cracker
all right.
flavors of cracker, white pepper, citrus, grapefruit rind, and pine. Little too aggressive for this style, but decent.
I don't know. I don't know.
Sorry, I'm pouring it into my glass so then people can actually see it on the camera too.
Nothing to see, folks.
So, yeah, it looks. I mean, to us, it looks a little more amber. It looks a little more golden than amber.
I see copper from here, right?
You see copper? I don't see copper.
And maybe you're closer to the light.
It could be. I mean, the way the light is, maybe it's already like skunking the beer.
Cheboygan, what do you think about this beer?
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit darker than copper. I smell a lot of Cascade, or not like Cascade Centennial. maybe.
Okay, so hop.
Yeah.
You smell hops.
Oh
Yeah.
my god! What the hell did you just give me? That is god awful.
Oh, thank you. That's a great response. I win
Oh
at
my
life.
god.
That response wins.
That is such a terrible, like, that's so bitter up front, like, kick you in the face. Why? Who wants this?
I agree with Nick though. I guess some bubble gum, like cotton candy thing too. There's like
when you smell it, right? Like cotton candy.
I get like
almost.
I get like
This
that
is either
grapefruit,
some IPA
Yeah.
you know,
or
kind of
really
characteristic.
dry
But when I
pale
taste it
ale.
and smell it, there is like that the bubble gum cotton
I
candy
get
kind of thing going
I get
on.
Yeah.
nothing. I get no citrus. I get just straight.
like when you sip it. Or-
yeah. When I sip it, I don't get any citrus. I don't get
yeah.
any.
I agree with that.
Oh my god. That's nasty.
Yeah, it's
Well, what do you guys? So do you guys?
It's an
like-
IPA, so whatever. Don't take offense to it, whatever it is. But fuck. I just need to hire someone to drink all the IPAs for me on this show.
So we have 3 questions.
I guess.
I can pour you some more if you like.
No,
There's
thank
some
you.
left in this growler. Shout out to Midland Brewing Company. They will be at our Fall Fest tomorrow.
Yes,
We're
they
excited
will.
to drink their delicious beers. But this is okay. I'll let you.
So the free question is: this a Michigan craft beer?
This is Michigan craft beer.
you said crap.
This is a Michigan craft beer.
All right, Michigan craft beer. Okay. I think we need to start somewhere in regards to.
Should we keep it more towards Michigan, like towards more our side of town?
You think? Is it someone that's gonna be? This is not an actual like question. Is this someone that's gonna be there tomorrow at the?
Well, if you want to use that as your question and narrow it down to 28 breweries,
I mean, that's
Oh,
that's a.
that might be-
I guess that's,
a
a
good,
really good question.
Is this someone
was-
who will be attending our beer festival tomorrow?
no.
Okay,
Okay, thank
good.
God. I saw the
Good,
look
we only
that
have
the
about-
head brewer at Kickstand gave me after I gave a result like that. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I hope you're not mad.
Guy
But
with
yeah,
the
I just
mustache?
didn't. Yeah, the guy with the mustache.
With that is like the craft beer mustache.
Okay, so it's not one of those 20. I mean, that's a good section of breweries out there that's going to the Fall and Brew Fest over at Jimmy John's Field tomorrow from 4 to 9.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I seriously can't wait, man.
We're all sleeping at Nick's.
I got the space in the room in the house.
Then we got the dog.
Yeah,
Yeah,
me and
you
Boomer
got
are
one of
gonna
you
hang
got to
out.
deal with a schnoodle, but
Me and Boomer are good to go.
be a good cuddle buddy at the end of the
Do you
night.
Oh,
do you
yeah.
have any idea in regards to the beer? Like, do you have a style, a thought, a theory?
Man.
Like, who could make it, or does it taste like a beer that you've had before?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't. I didn't have the same reaction you did. When I drank. I mean, I think there's a lot of positive
Anything
things
with
going on.
hops
But
in it.
some
There's
things
there's
that
a
could
reason why
be-
I went to North Center to brew an alt beer and not
Yeah.
an IPA or something like that.
Ken can't be around any sort of hops.
Listen, first of all, I have tried for over 3 years just on this show. I have also tried really hard to like.
I've come a
IPAs.
lot further with my dark beers than you
You
have with your
have,
hops.
you have. I just can't. I do not have the palate to want that. Like, I don't know who wants that kick you in the face bitterness or the dryness
Nick,
of like
you like this beer?
No.
No. All right. So, well, we know it's not one of 28 breweries.
it's probably something like who makes the rye IPA?
Founders.
Founders Rye IPA.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's the only thing that
but
makes
they'll be
sense.
at the beer fest tomorrow.
Founders is going to be at the beer fest
Absolutely.
tomorrow. Okay, well it's not Founders. Thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Are you getting rye out of this? Or are you getting some
No,
earthy
it's just the
notes or anything,
copper,
or-
the
Oh,
copper
okay.
notes.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Not the copper notes, the
I'm getting
copper
some
look.
malt out of it though too.
I'm
It's-
getting zero malt.
really
like
See, it's not biting my face off. I mean, I am going from our porter to this, so maybe I'm in the
I'm going from what I'm guessing is Fireball. Not my. Yeah, that's how I feel. I really have no idea. So let's just do the second question and is this west of 69?
It is not.
It is not west of 69, so it's east of 69,
Or
which gives.
south of 69.
Oh wait, 69? No, 69.
69 goes Port Huron to Lansing and then down. Just so you know. So
And it's not west
correct.
of 69.
Correct. It is southeast of 69.
Okay, so it's in the 69 box.
Correct. Let's call it
So we're
that.
saying Southeast Michigan, right?
Well, I mean, Port Huron, Lansing, and to Toledo, I suppose.
Okay, I just want to make sure I was
Yeah, so it's not Grand Rapids, it's not Kalamazoo, it's not Traverse City,
It's not Right Brain.
it's not right. Is it Roke? Was that was that a hint? Is this blow your face? No, I don't think they've brewed blow your face out recently.
It's definitely not their triple. What is it? That Three Horsemen or whatever. That's a lot lighter and more orange juice in appearance.
So it could be an Ann Arbor brewery.
See, I'm okay with this beer.
There's
like,
a whole.
I'm not like I'm
left.
trying. Like when I first sipped
Drink
it,
some more.
I mean, I think there might be some execution things in
I'll
there.
drink
that-
more
that
of your
they could-
porter.
Yeah, sure. But to me, it's not. It wasn't
All right,
the same reaction as you
so
guys.
it is a brew. I have no idea. Like I'm not even at a.
You guys just want to tap out? you
Let's
guys- are you guys gonna Conor McGregor this one?
let's try to get one more. Let's try to get one more question out of this, because I don't even have like I'm trying to think of who makes this type of beer that's this color, this bitter, because it's definitely a type of IPA. It's not a pale. It's not that dry to be a pale.
This is a difficult one because there's nothing that's making it stand out.
Yeah,
to
it
me,
just
it's an okay, good go-to beer. But it's not like I'm getting something that would stand out. for
Is
me.
Falling Down coming on to our beer fest?
No, they were not invited.
That's an interesting way to put it, but okay.
Oh, I suppose just no in general.
Maybe it's Ninja Chicken but that's a pale ale. This ain't a pale. I don't think this is a pale.
I mean, I could see. I don't know. To me, the Ninja Chicken. Or you're talking Falling Down.
Yeah,
I
Falling
was
Down.
going to Greenbush, the shotgun.
Shotgun chicken,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry. So
Yeah, two different beers.
Yeah.
And Greenbush is not in Southeast, the
no,
69
right, exactly.
little corner. So as we go through, let's ask a final question. Was this brewed in Ann Arbor / Metro Ann Arbor? So like Ann Arbor, Saline, that area. So let's cut it off at like
23,
yeah.
275 ish.
Yeah.
No.
Like you would have to either like you would more call it not even Metro Detroit or Metro Ann Arbor. It's just the middle of nowhere, right? Like Brighton,
Yeah.
Howell.
So west of 275.
Yeah.
Negative.
Okay. So I'm just gonna throw one out there and just say, is this Ninja Chicken from Falling Down?
Yeah, it is.
Really?
Nice.
This was empty when I walked in. You guys didn't notice. I just went.
Oh, that's what's on tap out there.
That's what's on tap out
Oh
there.
my God.
Wow. Well, good job, Ken.
I got you last. I figured since last time you got me with the whole was this brewed in Macomb County. I said, wait, yes, no, wait, no, and you got it right away. That I felt that I had to.
Well, kind of like the whole nowhere in particular.
Yeah, I had to try to redeem myself. So yeah, this is the.
So bad.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't like that beer at all. Like I've never liked that beer, no matter what iteration it's been. I don't.
American Pale Ale, by the way.
Yeah, that's what the thing is that it was copper. It didn't have any like the first thing that I got through was the Founder's Rye because of the copper, because that's what it looks like. It has that copper, but that has to be so dry then if it's because it's so much bitter, but it's not an IPA. I just don't understand.
Hey, it's each their own. I mean, they have great food.
Sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't getting the hops that like necessarily bit my face off, so I was definitely between a pale ale and IPA. But
I guess maybe I overreact for IPAs.
It's show business. That's what it is.
Yeah. Actually, we didn't get the camera on me today, so nobody saw that bitter beer face
Oh,
and me tearing off my headphones. Like, oh my god, this is disgusting.
that could have been a new meme.
It could have been. Nothing does beat the meme that Matt made. What was it, like not Ben Shapiro? What's that dude's name that you put the?
I put a Kermit the Frog meme up that almost got me kicked out.
No, the one that the one of the photo of me that says all IPAs suck, change my mind.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of the Steve Crowder or
I
something
don't even
like
know if
that.
he has a name. He's just guy in the park at the table with his cup of coffee.
Yeah. Does anybody know what his original sign actually said?
I don't.
I think it says I'll argue about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something stupid like
Okay.
that. Like that's
Somebody
that,
who had way too much time on their hands.
yeah.
Because you've got to like think about, hey, I'm just going to go argue with people in the park. Hey, I'm going to make a sign to argue with people in the park. Hey, I'm going to take a table and chair and argue with people in the park with my sign. Yeah, someone was just way too.
And he kind of has like a pompous look about him too.
He does.
Oh, yeah.
His
Very much
leg
so
up
does.
And the coffee or whatever he's sipping.
So Cheboygan Brewing out in Cheboygan, Michigan. They can get it on draft down here. What are some of your accounts? Your favorite places to go drink down here?
Yeah, definitely Sedona Tap Room. They keep Blood Orange on us year round.
Sedona, is that Troy?
Yeah,
that
Troy.
is
Yep,
Troy.
and they
It's
are
one of the.
opening a Novi location as well.
I was like, because I grew up in Troy, so I'm like Sedona. It sounds like that'd be a Troy
I
type
think
place.
that's Livernois, southeast corner, Big Beaver.
No, Big Beaver.
No.
Yeah, I
It
guess
is off Big
yeah.
Beaver, but yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
it's not on the corner though. It's
Or wait,
'cause
no.
the corner's Kona Grill and the.
No, that's Kona. Yeah, Kona Grill. I
But
think
it's a few doors
it's
down
a few
from Kona
yeah,
Grill.
it's on
for
Big
sure.
Beaver South Side. Yeah.
So you guys can definitely get Cheboygan beer over at Tuna Liquor over in Rochester Hills. Go check them out once again. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the social media. Cheboygan on there.
Yep, we're all on there. Facebook, Cheboygan Brewing Company. Instagram is Cheboygan_brewing_co, and Twitter is at Cheboygan Brew. So you can definitely find us there. We keep you updated on not only taproom releases, but some of the beers that were coming out seasonally. Down in this area or what's limited on draft. And then if you guys ever have any questions about where you could find any of our beers, feel free to send us a message via our website, and we can coordinate with our distributors and let you know the closest area to it, or if it's something that's going to be taproom only.
Awesome. Well, Cheboygan Nick, thank you very much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for
That's
having
going to
me.
do it for us here at Better on Draft, episode 150. Remember, next week we're going to have Travis Fritz and Joe from Brew Detroit to discuss M43 and M43 in Detroit. That will be at our Detroit studio, so definitely check it out live 7 p.m. Wow. 7 p.m. Eastern.
I mean, we can start at
Facebook.com.
7
Wow, let's
a.m.
not get a little crazy now.
7 p.m. Facebook.com/Better on Draft. We will be live. And no matter what you think of your beer, we think it's Better on Draft. Have a good night.